welcome to Back to School 2020, the virtual edition. Let me start off by saying that you all have done an amazing job getting your kiddos into the swing of things. We are all putting in overtime. You, your children, teachers, our office staff. Thank you for your questions and your feedback and your engagement. Thank you for your patience and your calmness during this odd start to the year. I actually came across something the other day that I wanted to take a minute to read out loud to you because it really sums up how I feel and how I hope that you feel right now too. So it says, look at how much you have already managed to adapt to. Look how resilient you have already been. There is no right way to respond to this because it's never, ever happened before. Give yourself some credit. There's no one in the world who has figured this out yet. So it's absolutely okay if you don't either. So try to keep a piece of that with you. I know these times are challenging, and just try to hold on to that idea that it's okay if you haven't figured it all out yet. I don't know anybody who has. I can speak for all of our staff members when I say that we want nothing more than to be back safely with our students. It's wonderful that I can hop onto Google Meets on a daily basis and pop into classrooms, but it sure does not beat seeing the students in person. So thank you for tuning in to our virtual Back to School. I have a couple of things that I want to share with you, and then I'll turn it over to your child's teacher. So attached to the message that had this video in it is also a form where you can ask questions. Please use that form. I will get back to you by Friday, and each teacher will also have their own form available. So you'll be able to ask them questions in that method as well, and they too will respond by Friday. Okay, so first off, a little bit about myself. I have been in LuCMR for a little over 20 years. I taught first grade, third grade, and fourth grade. And I most recently was working in the curriculum department where I actually got to work with all of the elementary schools in our area, and I learned a lot doing that. I'm super excited that I landed here at Grover Heights. It is a wonderful place to be, as most of you already know because you are returning students. My motto is both a question, what is best for students? And it's also a statement, what is best for students? So every decision we make here at Grover Heights is made through that lens of putting students first. Building connections is really, really important to me. Since I cannot do that in person, I am relying on connecting via email, Parent Square, Google Meets, the telephone. I appreciate all of the questions you have been asking and the feedback you have been giving. We've really made use of that and made changes and are continuing to make changes due to the feedback. So thank you for that. I'll be holding regular check-ins. I'm calling them parent principal coffees. Weekly for the month of September, and then probably monthly after that. We'll just see how things go. I'll be able to use this opportunity to give you any updates, answer any questions. I'll record these and put them on Parent Square so that if you can't attend, you can still see what we're talking about. So again, that form that I mentioned, there's a space for you to indicate your availability and whether or not you would be attending one of those meetings. And so please respond on that form. That'll help me schedule them, find a time where most people can join. Okay, on to some general school information. I wanted to give you a quick update on the social emotional component of distance learning. As you know, students in general might be struggling now more than ever with connecting with others. So as a district, we're holding what we're calling Friday Care groups. CARE stands for check-in, advise, redirect, engage. So this Friday Care meeting time allows teachers to focus on critical skills to help students build resilience during distance learning. We ask the students to rate their feelings on a simple scale, and that information helps the teacher know if anybody needs a little extra help. So TK through third grade students are learning about that scale for these first few weeks. If you are a parent of a 4th through 6th grade student, ask your child what the scale is. Ask them what the different colors are and what feelings are associated with those colors. and definitely start that conversation with your children. So these meetings are not counseling sessions. They're more like an advisory class at the middle or the high school level. Students are in smaller groups of 20 or fewer, and they have time to connect with one another. They have time to connect with their teacher. They learn some different strategies and skills that will help them during this time. If students do ask for help, or if they do indicate that a counseling session might be helpful, then all the regular procedures, including asking for parent permission to engage a student in counseling, all of those regular procedures are followed. Our care meetings at Grover Heights are every Friday from either 9 to 9:30 or from 9:30 to 10. So if you're not sure which group your child is in, definitely reach out to their teacher. And that login meeting counts for the synchronous part of the day. So your child after that may have some small group interaction. They might have some work to complete, some homework to catch up on, but that first care group login is what counts for the day. This year we'll also be adopting a social emotional curriculum that we can implement either during distance learning. It's also something we could implement once we return to in-person learning. So we hope to have something in place by the end of the first trimester. Another exciting program I want to tell you about is called One School, One Book. And the goal of this program is to help foster a love of reading, to build community, to increase literacy. It's a really fun way to do all of those things. So the basic idea is that each family in the school receives a copy of the same book, and we read it together. We ask families to read a portion nightly, or we provide read aloud so that you can listen together. We talk about the book in class. Siblings are reading the same book. Little buddies, big buddies are reading the same book. Staff members are all reading the same book. So as you can imagine, this can prompt some wonderful conversations about what everyone's reading, whether you're in kindergarten, 6th grade, anywhere in between, whether you're the adult involved. It's a really fun way to get connected. So we're planning on starting One School, One Book in the fall, but don't worry, we're not rushing into it. We know everyone needs some time to get settled. And speaking of reading, we are very excited that we will soon have the chance to let students check out books from our very own Grover Heights Library. And here's Miss Jackie to give you a sneak peek of what's to come.
Hi, Grover Heights families. This is Mrs. Jackie in the library, and I'm just here to show you a little bit about accessing our library online. Here I am on the Grover Heights Elementary School website. If you hover over Academics here and then scroll down to Library Media Center and click on that, that will take you to our library page. There's lots of fun stuff on this page. There's pictures of the kids. We also have links over here on the right, information about box tops, which has changed this year. Also read alouds here. This is picture books and chapter books that we've been recording and reading and recording online. So that's the link there. And there's also a link here that will send you to our Grover Heights Library collection. And there will be another video on that coming out soon with more information. So bye for now.
You can go ahead and click on that link and check it out now. We will be sending out some more directions next week, but you are welcome to check out the link a little bit later on after all the videos. Okay, so I wanted to also let you know about our supply pickup plan. We are adjusting as we go, and right now we're planning on having supplies available for pickup the first and the third Friday of the month. So these would be maybe if your child's teacher has some math workbook for them to pick up, or if they need some extra paper or something like that, they would have that put together for pickup. So we'll have the supplies out on the tables from 10:30 to 3:30. The first and the third Friday of the month, and your teacher will notify you if you have supplies to pick up. Not all classes will have things that they need to get picked up. So this Friday, September 4th, will be our first pickup day, and actually this Friday we'll be out there until 5 o'clock. So come by anytime between 10:30 and 5 if your teacher has supplies for you. We'll have everything set up on the grass, and please practice social distancing when you pick up your supplies. All right, moving along to attendance, and we are almost finished. Attendance continues to be just as important during distance learning. If your child is sick, please call the office and let us know. You can email a picture of the doctor's note if you have a doctor's note. If you are experiencing internet or power issues, then please let your child's teacher know right away. You can also let the office know because it might be something that we can help with. All right, one very last thing, please join our Grover Heights PTA. A video went out last week that talked about how to join and why you should join. So this is a great group of people committed to the students, and they have some vacancies on their board that they need to fill. So please consider, please definitely join as a member and consider joining, running for one of the board spots if you are interested. Okay, I am now going to turn everything over to your child's teacher. Thank you for checking in. Please make sure you fill out that form if you have any questions. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to contact us in the office. We are here to help and support however we can. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your time.
Hi, we are the Grover Heights kindergarten teachers. Welcome to our virtual back to school night video. I am Melissa Nichols. I am a kindergarten teacher here at Grover Heights. I have been teaching kindergarten for about 6 years now, and I really love this age group. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you, Melissa. And my name's Sally Graybehl, another kindergarten teacher. I have been at Grover Heights for, a little over 30 years, but this is only my third year teaching kindergarten, and I just love the funny things they say and how they make me laugh. Really enjoyed the grade too.
So we're going to kind of go through a couple of things. We're hoping that we can answer some questions through this video and maybe give some clarity to some things that you might have on your mind. At the end, if you have any questions left, please use that Google form to reach out to us, and we will return contact with you and answer those questions. So first, we just want to briefly talk a little bit about Google Meet expectations. Overall, you guys are doing awesome. We just want to remind you, we really want that kinder to have a quiet space, and hopefully it's a space they're using over and over again. So it starts to feel a little like their Google Classroom, their little, not Google Classroom, but their little virtual classroom there at home from there. We also want you to remember to mute that microphone and keep it off unless you've been invited to speak. We would love to hear more kinder voices, but I think you guys understand it's the background noise that is just so overpowering. And so that's really the main reason. Keep those mics muted, please, unless it is your turn to speak. Also, cameras we prefer to have on. So if you can, keep that camera on for us. It helps us see when they're with us and if they're getting it, if we're keeping on track or not. Make sure they've finished eating or snacking. Make sure that they are dressed appropriately. Make sure your kinder has all the materials that they need. Hopefully you have checked our agenda and you come to that first live session with those materials ready to go, or at least they're really close by and easy to access.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Melissa. Speaking of agendas, that is a nice lead in for me. We wanted to make sure that one of the things that you are looking at daily is our daily agenda. And we wanted to post it for you in 2 ways. One of the ways that you'll be able to see the daily agenda is by looking in your student's virtual classroom. The other way that you'll be able to see the agenda is that we have just pulled that out, and we're also going to show that separately. Don't forget that daily agenda is really important because it is going to help you get the materials ready that your child will need to be successful. And it will also give you the times of when we're doing our live meets, our whole group meets, and our small meets. And then lastly, in terms of the virtual classroom, we hope you don't skip going there just because we have pulled out the daily agenda. In that virtual classroom, if you haven't had a chance to go and play in that yet, all of the links there are live. So if you go and you touch all of the letters up at the alphabet strip up at the top, you will get a different song for each letter. If you click on Mrs. Nichols or myself, you'll get to meet the teacher. If you are looking at the books, they will read to you the numbers. There are songs and things for the students to practice. And then there's also a reminder if you ever forget which small group your child is in. And we just want you to really stay and to be able to play in that, because we hope to add some more rooms to that eventually as our curriculum goes and grows. And so we hope that you find that a helpful resource.
Yeah, thanks, Sally. And just like she mentioned on that agenda, and I think this question's come up a little bit about some of those links in our agenda about the independent activities. So we are absolutely counting on you guys to be doing those. The time of day is where you have flexibility, right? We've built it into the schedule. However, when you do it really is up to you, but make sure that you do that every day, those independent activities. Particularly, we want to make sure you're thinking about zoophonics. Zoophonics is a big part of our program here at Grover Heights. If they were in school with us, it would be 15 to 20 minutes every day of zoophonics with our awesome zoophonics teacher, Miss Pham. So we are embedding 3 links a week, and Miss Pham has been awesome to create those lessons for us, and she will be updating and giving you changed lessons. So know that zoophonics link will grow and change each week as she moves through the zoophonics program. We know it's just a video that they sit and watch, but really it's so important that they do watch it regularly and that you are encouraging them to get up and move and follow along and do those motions, because we have found it's incredible for teaching our kinders those letters and sounds. So just want to make sure.
Thank you. That makes me think of one other thing. I know that in some of the conferences that I've had so far, one of the things that parents haven't always seen is that on our daily agenda, we often have 2 pages. We've tried to make it fit, but it just seems like there's a little bit that runs over. And it almost looks like parents here at the bottom of the page because there's a gap. So please make sure you scroll down to that second page. That second page is where Melissa mentioned you're going to be seeing zoophonics. You're going to be seeing some of the independent videos and some of the opportunities for your student to go into that Clever app, to go into those really wonderful online resources that we have for your child to work and play with to help develop their reading and their math, their phonics, all of those skills.
Awesome. Thanks, Sally.
Thank you.
Okay, I think next we wanted to talk a little bit about where we go in kindergarten. So what does that scope look like? So we're going to kind of touch a little bit on what it looks like in reading, in writing, in math, as well as in science and social studies. Kind of what are our big overarching goals for your child by the end of kindergarten?
Thank you. So in reading, oh my gosh, it is so exciting because we see the whole scope of most of our students coming in, maybe knowing a few letters, maybe knowing a few sounds, moving all the way through to what we would call a letter D reader. Right now, you probably are not familiar what a letter D reader is, but letter D is a reading system that we use, Fontes and Pinnell, F&P, and your child will be going through all of these different letters, working with us in small group, working whole group, and with zoophonics. And I thought it might be fun just to show you because it's pretty amazing what a letter D reader looks like. So I'm going to step a little bit closer to the screen just so you can see the book. But what you're going to start to notice is that we're moving away from just reading with a picture, that we are not only reading now with pattern, and that they are going to be able to use their sight words, those wow words we work on, and their other skills as well. So we're really excited and want you to know that we take this journey together with you, and that working on that zoophonics and those wow words that we've worked on are really going to be an important journey in that, as well as hearing you read. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, awesome. And that level goes from A all the way to Z. So we'll start your kinder at that A level and it just builds up through. So that goal being D by the end of kindergarten lets them know they're ready for first grade.
Yeah.
And I'll talk a little bit about writing. So kindergarten writing is kind of incredible. You might go, You might be surprised, but we will be teaching them how to do a narrative writing, a opinion writing, and an informative writing. And they will know what those things mean by the end of the year. But obviously we build slowly. So in kindergarten, we write with our picture as much as we write with our words. Mm-hmm. So that's where we really start. So you're going to see us start in our writing journals this week. And they're going to start really by drawing that detailed picture for us. We've discovered that the more detail they have in those pictures, the easier it is for them to add detail and build in their sentences. And so we start with that picture first. And really we'll encourage them to maybe label things in that picture in the beginning. If they only know the first letter of that word, they can label it with the first letter. And slowly but surely through zoophonics and our strategies, they learn to kind of stretch out those sounds, stretch out those words, and start to really label. And moving forward, we'll kind of progress all the way to where by the end of the year, we're looking for that complete sentence. Some of them are ready to write 2 or 3 complete sentences, and many do by the end of the year. And like I said, we'll start with narrative, which is perfect for kindergarten. Story all about them, right? They love being the center of the story. And then we move into opinion writing, also a favorite of kindergartners. They love to tell you their opinion about everything. So they are very eager to write those opinions down for us. And then at the end of the year there, we're able to go into informative writing where they stick with the facts and they're kind of listing things they might know about a frog or about something else. And they are able to really build those 2 to 3 sentences in if they are ready with those letters and sounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. It is an amazing journey, and I think you're going to really enjoy seeing them do that. As far as math, I think about math in kindergarten, it's all things numbers to 20. And so we will be working with the boys and girls on being able to recognize a number. We're working with them on being able to name it. If I just draw a 6 up on the whiteboard, can they name that number? Can they write that number? And then can they show me that number? Can they show me a variety of ways to make that particular number? At home, counting is a great thing at the grocery store. And really having them have that, what we call one-to-one correspondence, that they can take one object and they can count that as one. A lot of times they can count very high, but they're not able to really recognize the number, or they're not really able to show us that number. And that just is kind of a progression that they will make as they go. As we get started in the next few weeks, we'll be having a number of the day. And that particular number, then we will really be focused. We'll be studying more carefully. We'll also be getting into addition and subtraction, and probably even towards the end, some word problems.
Absolutely.
And some strategies and words to look for when they are solving those kind of problems. Words that are going to give them clues and cues if they are adding or they're subtracting. So we have a lot of fun with numbers. We've got that great math box, a lot of great math manipulatives, and we will most likely be adding to them as the year goes on as well.
And lastly, we just want to touch on science and social studies. So the neat thing in kindergarten is that they love a theme, right? So really social studies and science is very much integrated into the themes that we use. Most likely you'll be seeing kind of apples coming up as a theme, and that'll be an opportunity for us to kind of incorporate some science concepts. We've been focused right now really on community building and how we are special. That's kind of that social studies concept that we are part of a bigger community and things like that. So you'll notice through our themes that we will kind of bounce between a social studies concept and a science concept and looking to integrate them there in a way that's exciting and fun for your kindergartner. Yeah. All right. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. We look forward to hearing from you, and we are excited for this awesome year.
Can't wait. Thank you.